With the unexpected popularity and enormous mass appeal of the Wii, a lot of publishers found themselves scrambling. How could they take the franchises they already had and make them appealing to the Wii audience? How could they make games that played well given the system's unique control scheme? Some publishers, like Activision, took the easy way out, making subpar versions of the games they sold on other platforms, like Call of Duty 4 Reflex. A number of others, like Capcom, decided to make rail shooters. Today, we're looking at one of those rail shooters, Dead Space Extraction. In my experience, most modern rail shooters are by-the-numbers cash-ins built specifically to take advantage of the popularity of their respective franchises, requiring the minimum amount of effort to put out a game. But this one is quite different. For starters, Dead Space Extraction does more than just pay lip service to the Dead Space world and mythos. Set directly before the first game, Extraction lays out the events right around the initial marker incident and runs all the way up to where Dead Space begins. Gameplay is also very reminiscent of the first game. This isn't just some rail shooter template they haphazardly threw some necromorphs into. Dead Space Extraction has all the limb severing and weapon variety that you would expect from a Dead Space game. Not only is all the strategy-infused high-stakes shooting completely intact, but it also works extremely well with the light gun controls on the Wii. You can even turn the remote sideways to engage secondary fire modes, which, as a Dead Space fan, just kind of feels cool. But there is one thing that Extraction fails to replicate from the original Dead Space: the tension. That said, I honestly don't know how you'd go about making an on-rail shooter tense. The entire genre basically requires you to keep moving almost all the time. There's no room for the player to choose to wait, to take in the environment around them, and just get a little freaked out. However, the game does manage to do something that the first Dead Space, at least from what I can remember, did not: tell a competent and interesting story with intriguing characters. Despite its genre, one that often limits storytelling to extremely basic summarization before levels begin, Dead Space Extraction manages to create a small group of characters that you're always with, allowing for you to get to know them very well and empathize with them as the game goes on. The story itself is bland and predictable, especially if you've already played Dead Space, but I was really impressed with the character work that was done here. And I think that's really the best way to describe my feelings in general in regards to Dead Space Extraction. Maybe it's because I had low expectations, but when I first played it, this game simultaneously surprised and impressed me. This is way more effort than most developers ever even thought of putting into their Wii games, and it shows. Between the fantastic gameplay and the well-written characters, this game comes highly recommended to play either by yourself or, even better yet, with a friend in co-op. While I reviewed this game on the Wii, it is also available on the PS3 as a PlayStation Move game. You can play with a regular controller, but I probably wouldn't recommend you doing that. This is a light gun game through and through, and playing it with just a DualShock 3 would probably ruin the experience. Weirdly enough, a digital copy of Extraction cost about as much, and in some cases even a little bit less, than a used copy of the Wii game. The PS3 version certainly looks better, but it basically comes down to what you already own, and I know most people probably don't own PlayStation Move controllers, while most people do have an old Wii sitting in the basement. Every Friday, I look at a game that was either ignored when it came out, or has been forgotten since. Games that people have missed. If you like that idea, be sure to subscribe so you can see the latest videos I make. If you like this video in particular, be sure to hit that like button. And if you have an idea for a future video, a game you think people have missed, be sure to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.